Ladakh in northern India is famous for the most breathtaking nature in the entire country. However, this landscape lies in an extreme location where oxygen levels are nearly half that of sea level. For this reason, travelers including myself come to Leh to acclimatize. What I didn't expect was that Leh would be more than just a stopover, but actually full of religious and cultural surprises that make a visit definitely worthwhile in its own right. So let me show you what I found in Leh. It began with a flight to what is considered one of the most dangerous airports in the world. The airport itself is at over 3,000 meters in altitude, with nearby mountains over 6,000 meters. Pilots even need a special permit to even attempt the landing.
It's always good to survive one of the world's most dangerous landings.
So not too bad. Officially survived one of the world's most dangerous airports. I just arrived in Leh, Ladakh. Super cute town. Altitude is phenomenal. It is, wait for the car to pass, 3,500 meters, which is why I'm already puffing. Oh, the walk is 2 minutes, out of breath. I guess this is what I've got to look forward to. Okay, for real. Oh my god, out of breath. Ah. One really important task when arriving in Ladakh is to get a permit. So after making a new friend, I went into town to get this done as well as to explore. I'm a sucker for a bread shop.
It's really dry. Is that an almond in there?
It's an almond just to decoration, right?
No.
It's not going to add much to the flavor profile. Salam alaikum. How are you? Quality bread. Do you want the bread, you dusty boy? Oh, look at these happy boys. You need to grab one of these, which is a permit to basically see the attractions. It costs like $6-7. I went to a travel agent here. Super easy to sort out. But between this SIM card and drinking water to deal with the altitude, I think I've had a pretty busy. So I've been to India before, but I forgot how cheap it is. You know, I'm paying $6 for a hostel with breakfast. Got these nice little bread things. Got 3 of them for 30 cents. 2 bananas for 30 cents as well. Whew. And a 1 month phone plan, 1.5 gig a day, $9. So I've done a lot today and it's been very cheap. I made new friends and then we walked to dinner. So Tibetan style, which is kind of like Ladakian food, momo, just like a fried meat dumpling. Nice spicy sauce. I'm very excited. I'm staring at a friend who's laughing at my awkward filmmaking.
Very good. Also doing good. The lake is 4,500.
I was going to say, because I'm going to forget, what is it, a vegetable skewer? Skewer? Skew.
It's a Ladakhi.
Ladakhi food. On the second day, I simply slept, trying to adapt to the immense change in altitude, but the headaches and tiredness didn't stop me from enjoying more delicious Ladakhi food. Alrighty, round 2 of Ladakhi food. I don't know if it shows in the camera, but I'm pretty excited for the masala chai. It's creamy and spicy. First meal all day. I don't know why I'm skipping food, but I do, I'm lazy. It's kind of like a bean stew. God damn. Now so far I've shown you 2 Ladakhi meals, which are Tibetan influenced and quite different from the Indian food you might expect if you're thinking of Western style Indian curries. However, these are also available and I had quite a few for lunches and they were also super delicious. So something cool's about to happen. I spoke to this guy from the Buddhist Association and asked where I could volunteer in terms of monasteries to maybe learn about Buddhism and meditate. He told me that today he could take me to check a monastery out. Still out of breath because I'll shoot. But yeah, so I'm going to meet up with him, grab a coffee, and we'll go drive to this monastery that has no phone reception and no internet. So we can't just call and ask what they think. We've got to drive. So really nice, that guy. I got incredibly lucky and the monk said yes to my request, and in 2 weeks I would end up spending time in the monastery. Here is my footage from that trip. I'll make a separate video from this experience, but now I actually want to get back to Leh to contrast this experience of Buddhism with something else which was quite intense. So tomorrow is a really important day in the Shia Islamic calendar. It's Ashura, the 10th of Muharram. So tomorrow we'll go check out the procession. I think it's going to be pretty intense.
What is this country? It looks.
You see behind me, everyone's getting ready for essentially a morning ceremony. This is Ashura, which means 10. Ashura of Muharram, which is the first month in the Islamic calendar. It's an incredibly, if not the most important day for Shia Muslims. Honestly, very surprising to see this in India, and very surprising to see a picture of Ayatollah Khomeini, the first leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran. I wanted to see this ceremony for so long. It's supposed to be incredibly moving and powerful. It's a little bit intimidating and scary as men whip themselves, but we'll see what happens. I began to get really nervous seeing the medics and the ambulances. In many parts of the Islamic world, self-flagellation, which is where you whip yourself, is banned. But in India it's actually allowed, and it's done by some people during Ashura. This is all in an attempt to honour the death of Imam Hussein, the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad, who was killed. And those who do this believe that by causing themselves pain, it's a small sacrifice compared to what Hussein endured. Now I won't show what we saw because it's very graphic, but I can describe it. Now it's important to note that most people didn't do this, but those who did whipped themselves repeatedly, and we saw bloody faces as well as heads, and these people appeared to be in a trance. They were, however, attended to by the medics. Seeing this display of religious devotion to Islam after just visiting a nearby Buddhist monastery really showed me that I was in an area of religious and cultural diversity. Now this is in addition to previously eating a mix of Tibetan style food alongside more typical Indian food. Leh is not just a stopover, it's a unique destination to be explored. Leh is also of course the gateway to Ladakh, a beautiful region that I explored for several weeks. However, this region is at a very high altitude, therefore if you want to visit Ladakh, I really recommend spending time in Leh to acclimatize. But as I've hopefully showed you, this is not a bad thing because Leh is fantastic. Subscribe to see my experiences in Ladakh's breathtaking nature as well as my 10-day trip living in a monastery. Cheers.